Good morning. This is TCR, TroyCommunityRadio.com. I'm Glenn Myers on 107.1 WTJN. Time now for the Mayor's Report, and joining me this morning is our Council President, Marty Baker. Good morning.
Good morning, Clint.
Welcome to the program. Council just met this week?
Yes, we met last night. Had a number of public hearings on 2 rezoning applications. The first involved the Jane Delcamp property along Peters Road, and the developer there is 3Gen D, which is the Denlinger Group, and that was a rezoning. And also then the Barbara Ernst property along Washington Road is also requesting an R3 single-family residential district. Jessica Meinsinger is the developer on that property. Both are scheduled for 15,000 square feet lots, and it's going to be residential, which can also, of course, include some parkland and drainage ponds and that kind of thing.
Is this going from agricultural then to residential?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and from a county zoning to a city zoning.
Okay.
Yes. And we received a few comments last night, mostly centered around drainage issues and that type of thing, which is usually a common thing here in Troy whenever there's a development.
Yeah, you got to make sure that the water's going to drain off and not pond.
Right, and that's up to the developer. They take care of that normally for us without any problem.
All right.
We'll follow that then. The Community and Economic Development Committee will meet now on those 2 rezonings, and they have a meeting on July 19th at 6:15 in council chambers to discuss both of those. So if any citizens were not able to attend last night's meeting and have concerns, well, they're welcome to come to that committee meeting.
Okay. Now, you also discussed some things on Riverside Drive.
Yes, on Riverside Drive last night, we talked about the Phase 3, and that we approved then an Ohio Public Works Commission application, which comes before any of our development portion of it. We apply for funding from them, and that would take it from Orchard Drive out to the entrance of Duke Park. That is a $1,300,000 project, and we're hoping to get the Ohio Public Works Commission funding for that, help with that. The other thing we talked about and voted on last night and approved was allowing the University of Dayton River Stewards to come to camp and have fire pits at Treasure Island on September 8th and 9th. And of course, our fire department will be making sure that everything is done according to code and everything with the fire pits.
Okay, normally there are no fire pits down at Treasure Island.
That's right, and that's why council had to weigh in on this one. We don't normally allow camping or fire pits along there, so this will be small tent camping and with this group. We've had them in town before and have had good success with them. And
okay.
So we welcome them back. We also approved, the council committee recommended a second reading then on an agreement with the Miami County Commissioners on a water line extension that will go along Experiment Farm Road and then cross country to Upper Valley Medical Center. And this will serve as a backup line for the medical center. And we'll be having a second reading on that at our August meeting, our August 6th meeting. So.
Okay, and back to your paving program. Now, you also upped funding for paving.
Right. Council approved an additional $200,000 to our already approved funding for that, and that brings it a total to $1,032,000 for this year, which is higher than it has been.
A lot of repairs
on years. Staff felt like there was need to resurface a few more streets, and we had that in the budget to be able to do that. And so every year it's always a concern that we're not paving enough streets. Everybody thinks that their street needs
it worse than someone else.
Yeah. And staff has this year evaluated every street in the city and ranked them so that they know what the need is for future years, and they've got them all. You can go to the City Hall and look at the rankings to see where your street comes in.
Okay. Now, we did lose a firefighter in this past week.
Yes, sadly, an untimely death of Jason Holfinger. And firefighters from all the surrounding communities have volunteered to come in and fill in for our firefighters while they attend services and things for Jason. Chief commented last night that he's heard from departments as far away as Cincinnati and Columbus and Lima to come in if they needed to be here. So
when it comes to sports,
sad, but
it is. We always talk about the friendly rivalry that we have with Piqua, but Piqua came down and covered while the men did their grief counseling.
Yes, on Saturday, Piqua was here, and we so much appreciate all of the support. It's, really, kind of heartwarming to see all of that come together.
It truly is. We were talking just before the program. You mentioned that it's like a brotherhood when it comes to the firefighters and police officers from all of Ohio, and just period altogether.
Yeah, I think all across the nation you see that.
Yes.
Whenever there's an event or a death or something like that, you see that.
They all come together.
Yes.
Now, you have some upcoming meetings as well.
Right. On July 18th at 4 o'clock, the Recreation Board meets at Hobart Arena. July 25th at 3:30 at City Hall, the Planning Commission will be meeting. I'd like to point out that many of the development issues, the land development issues, go to Planning Commission before they come to Council. And so much annexation and rezoning and that type of thing, the discussion starts at Planning Commission level. All of those meetings are open to the public. And so if people have concerns, that's the first step.
They need to weigh in on that.
And at least hearing what's going on. If they know that there's a development in their area that they're really interested in, that's a good place to start to follow the process through the different meetings. I know sometimes council is, tends to be criticized sometimes because we have, people only understand that they've only had, 2 or 3 meetings when in fact it's been ongoing for months.
Exactly. And like you said, that these meetings are open to the public, and that's what they are, public forums, so that people can weigh in pros and cons of these things before they ever go to council.
Right, exactly.
The big thing I would always tell people is get involved in your local government, and then you know exactly what's going on from the inside out.
For sure, and especially, like I say, if there's something that you're interested in, why there's, you can follow it through the whole process. Also, Troy Aquatic Park reported that there's 553 memberships sold this year. That's the most they've ever sold since the aquatic park opened.
That's great.
So it's been a great swimming season with all this hot weather, and we're pleased to hear that. And then also the golf course, Miami Shores Golf Course clubhouse renovation will be beginning. That project was authorized at $1.7 million, and contract was awarded to a contractor for a little over $1.2 million for the building renovation and parking lot. So we'll be seeing new things out at the Miami Shores Golf Course.
Well, I would imagine that if we're getting increased volume through the swimming pool, that with this good weather, probably at the golf course too.
Right, yeah, it's always a good thing. And I think, we're seeing a lot of interest in some of the younger folks too coming up that playing golf. So.
The amenities that we have here in Troy are just amazing.
People can't say there's nothing to do.
Exactly. There is always something to do.
Yeah. And then, of course, all the activities coming up on the square and Prouty Plaza. And we have August 7th is the 35th anniversary of National Night Out, and they're doing that in the neighborhoods this year, as they did last year. We also have August 18th is Festival of Nations. And then on the 19th is the annual Mayor's Concert. So all of those activities coming up, in addition to what the Hainer and Troy Main Street are doing with all of their concerts on the square on Friday nights and Tuesdays at the Hainer, and so we've got full schedule and coming up in July and August.
I know I like to go to the Miami County Convention Bureau and or Visitors Bureau, and you can see a whole list of everything that's going on in not only Troy but Miami County. But there's literally something not just on Tuesdays and Friday nights. There's something going on every night of the week.
Yes, yeah, it's busy. And when throw in with all of our activities, then the Miami County Fair coming up in August. So, yeah, it's definitely a busy time in Troy in summertime.
Yeah, and we're moving through summer pretty quick, it seems like.
Yeah, it'll be school time before we know it. Yeah.
Okay, Marty, is there anything else you'd like to add this morning?
I think we've pretty well covered everything.
All right.
Yeah, it's been a busy week, and got more meetings coming up this week with committee meetings and things. So. Never a dull moment.
Never a dull moment. Thank you so much for being on the program this morning. Marty Baker, our president of City Council. This has been the Mayor's Report. I'm Clint Myers on 107.1 WTJN.